Mark. What do you think about this current era where there's a lot of, like, let's just say it, marks that are now wrestling reporters because they're paying wrestlers, whether it's Steven Richards or whoever the guy is that works for Jim Cornette. They've done nothing in wrestling, but they present themselves as experts, and people are actually valuing their opinion as if they actually have some knowledge, but they've never promoted, they've never wrestled, and they've never booked. And if it wasn't for this new video interview style, they would never even be anything. What do you think? Would you have imagined this to happen?
Yeah, Hannibal, you are 1,000% correct with that. And I'll tell you why. Bro, I am a huge baseball fan. I've been a huge baseball fan, bro, since 1970. So how many, what is that? 55 years. Bro, never in a million years would I start a baseball podcast where all of a sudden I'm an authority. Never in a million years would I do that. If I ever want to do a baseball podcast, I would say every 5 minutes, I am a fan. I am a fan. I am a fan. Why? Because I've never been in the dugout. I've never laced up a pair of spikes, bro. I have no idea what it's really like. These guys think they're a part of it. They've actually convinced themselves they're a part of it. And you know, bro, that's fine, bro. If you guys want to live in fairy tale land and the Sean Sapps of the world and really think you're a part of the business, that's fine, bro. But the sad thing is, bro, if you're one of these people paying them money to get their views on a business they were never a part of, again, I'm going to say it. You're an idiot, bro. You're an idiot. There are so many podcasts out there, including Hannibal, you know, of people that have actually been in the business. Because, bro, if you haven't been in the business, you don't know shit. And, bro, like I said, man, as a baseball fan, I would never convince myself or you that I was ever a part of the baseball business. I never was.
Yeah, those.
We're visiting Pharaoh's here after last night's Super ECW tribute show.
Deluxe.
Pharaoh's looking good though as he gets older. He can handle his liquor a little better, right? But we'll be floating around. Hopefully, get to see a few people. We'll be posting these videos. So we'll talk to you soon.
I don't care if they talk shit. I don't talk to hypocrites. If you hate me, that's just fine. Go on down and get in line. They try to tell me what I need, and it sure ain't nothing good for me. Don't care what they say, it's all just talk. Gonna head my way and walk my walk. They try to bend me, but I won't break. I pay no mind to the noise they make. I keep my head, I hold my ground. Ain't no man gonna knock me down. They can swing, but I won't flinch. I was built for times like this. So talk your shit, but be aware. I don't care.
All right, welcome back to the Howard Stern of Pro Wrestling Monte The Pharaoh, along with Bruce joining us again at the 9 o'clock hour from Texas. Jimmy, how are you?
You scared me. I saw Bruce. I almost jumped.
Jimmy was giving me shit, everybody, about that video about my gym picture. He was crushing me off air after the first show.
And we're making pancakes. Bruce, did you see that? We put our fist up and we make pancakes. I have no idea what the fuck that is, but that's okay. You know why? Because I don't care if they talk shit.
That's it, brother. I love it. My God. And by the way, I got to tell you, that Vince Russo video really pisses me off.
You know what? It doesn't piss me off. This is what I was thinking when you were playing it. I started laughing. And I was imagining myself giving Buff Bagwell a call going, bro, I got the greatest idea, bro. I'm going to put your mother on a forklift. Keep talking.
You know what? You're right, Jimmy. Really, you're right. That's exactly true right there.
Keep talking. Who cares? He made his life out of talking, and he used to run a video store with. He's just like the
But,
rest of us.
but
Okay, you got your lucky break. Congratulations. You've been milking it ever since. Fuck off.
let me
How
ask you
dare
this, right?
I?
Isn't
You know,
business? Like, why do you have to be in the wrestling business to run business? And here's the other thing I was thinking. If it costs you $2,000 to bring Hulk Hogan on your show to interview him, and you make $4,000, doesn't that make business sense?
why would you be undercutting your fellow brothers by making fun of shows like us common folk shows like don't hire wrestlers and pay for interviews.
Right.
You're
Hey,
taking
listen, I
money
wasn't
away from
around
your own
back
people
then.
with your big fat mouth. By the way, anybody noticing
Yeah,
that little detail? It's like, what are you talking about? Everybody's got a right to the forum. We're doing well at it. Piss off. Fair
well,
enough.
I wasn't around back then, but I saw the interview afterwards. But Devin seemed pretty happy to be on your show back then.
That was very early.
Yeah,
Right,
that was
Mike?
really
That's way
yeah,
back
that's
in
really
the
early.
earliest of the early days, correct? I mean,
But I will tell you this, Devin.
It doesn't matter whenever it was. But hey, listen, he was willing to come on. And he was such a nice person. Well,
but
can't say he was a nice
also,
person back
Mike,
then.
correct me if I'm wrong. Way back then, we're probably talking 2018 or so. I would say that we had him
Yep.
on.
Yep.
He wasn't doing a lot of the things he's kind of been doing over the last half decade. This is almost 10 years ago when we had him on. It's 8.
Man,
I know time has moved.
flying. Time is
Yeah,
flying.
but Bruce, back in those early days when we had him on, it was more like, he was doing interviews. It wasn't all
Yeah.
this craziness that he's been doing over the past.
There was no
35.
issue back then. But now your competition to him, we have an issue.
Right.
Well, I remember
True.
when we first, right, he didn't really do a lot of interviews, but when we first had him on, it was early on with me and Jimmy. And then once me and Jimmy started becoming popular, I have the email somewhere.
Yeah.
I had sent him, I'm like, hey, man, do you have any advice how to build the channel? And he's like, you guys are doing fine. And I think he even writes, like, don't write me again or something like that.
Okay. Oh, okay. Whatever.
But that's when he was like he was the OG of YouTube, right? So it
One
was
of the
like
first guys. Of course he is.
Yeah.
That doesn't change anything. Sure.
And what happened to those 1 million subscribers, though?
What do you mean?
You know what?
He's down to 500,000 now. What
That's
happened?
especially after you did the leak coal analytics and stuff. That's your department, guys. You'd have to tell me about that stuff because I haven't.
I don't know. I wasn't around, but for some reason, he lost a lot of subscribers at one point.
I got to tell you, Jimmy, we got to give props to Bruce last week. He fucking dismantled Lee. He dismantled Lee Cole.
Dude, Bruce, on a numerical level, I mean, I was very impressed. Math is always a challenge for most folks, but I'm okay at it. But I was like, holy shit, look at you! How many hours did you put into that, Bruce?
Half
Too
hour.
many.
It was literally on the webpage. All somebody has to do is go.
Oh, you didn't have to do shit. All right, all that nice stuff I said, forget about it. Go ahead.
Here's the problem. The problem is people don't ever go and read the facts for themselves. The facts are there. Go read them yourself.
That's a really good point. People rather just be spoon fed their information and just believe it without actually doing a little investigation, right?
Now, Mike, haven't I always felt that Lee Cole is just fucking absolutely full of shit? So my gut read never took me to that page, Bruce. But I understand your point.
No, you always said that. You did. You always said that he was full of shit. But I will tell you that his mob guy, his friend, that Bruce did show the analytics were almost exactly the same. Somehow that guy's channel
he's back up. Whatever. My apologies to what is his name? Proctor, whatever. But yeah, somehow he's back up, but Lee's not. I don't care about him being back up, whatever. Just look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie.
I have no idea about the mob channels out there. There's only one mob channel I watch, and that's Michael Francis, and he was.
How is that channel, Jimmy? How is that channel?
He's fantastic. you know, there's good and bad in everyone, and obviously he's been very upfront with the obvious bad things that were, you know, part of his history. You know, I find him to be very, very open about everything, and I really find him informative, and he's very fair-minded too. It's surprising because, you know, look, we all love movies about those things, but Mr. Francis, you know, he's the real thing, you know, and it just it's fascinating because obviously sometimes, like, you know, in his case he was born into it. Sometimes life just throws things at you that you either go with it or bad things can happen if you don't. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but you know, the whole mob stuff, I'm not aware of any of that stuff as far as the rest of those channels and stuff, as the connections or whatever they had to. Lee was doing Mob Channel, obviously, so that's about as far as I go with that, guys. Honestly,
I mean, Jim Terry did bring up a good point last week. Is that wrestling genre is a very difficult genre to do well at, right? I mean,
yeah.
as popular as pro wrestling is, it's nothing compared to mob related shit, fucking video games, baseball, football, basketball. It's not, you know, it's not even, you know, it's not, I don't even think it even scratches the surface of some of that shit. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure though. You know, yes, I think it's worse than some of the major sports, but the more I hear, I think sports has been really crooked and political and favoritisms and favors and stuff like that. I think a lot of that shit's been going on for our whole lives. Uh, to get back to some of the stories I heard on aforementioned channel, back in the day, like if a player they would gamble. You know, gambling has always been a big deal,
And
right?
by the
We
way,
all know
Jimmy,
this.
before you go any further, so I remind
Yeah.
everybody, Monte The Pharaoh is brought to you by FanDuel. Go online and place your bets in FanDuel. Monte The Pharaoh. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Okay. So back in the day, we all know that, you know, listen, gamble responsibly on FanDuel. We all know that back in the day that, you know, gambling was connected to obviously mob and stuff like that. And some of the players, you know, like let's say an NFL player, you know, he'd gamble and he got himself into some debt. Well, guess what? You got to pay the debt, right, guys? You got to pay the debt.
Yeah.
Well, the player then realizes where the top of that debt is. It lies with Mr. So and Mr. So and so is not too happy about it. I'm sure you're following this. So here's what you have to do because now you've met Mr. So and so who you owe, I don't know, 50 grand back in those days. This is an old story, obviously, from back in the old days, you know. You owe 50 grand. Well, guess what you're going to have to do now for Mr. So and so? You know, you're going to have to, first time you get the ball, you're going to be fumbling it. The next time you get the ball, this is what you're going to do. Why? Point spreads. You following, Mikey? I know you are. You know?
No, I am, man. You're on the money, man. For
So
sure.
if that shit's been going on for decades, you can only imagine the other levels of crookedness and favoritism all the way down. It's, you know. It's there.
You know, I remember, you know, 80s, 90s, even into the 2000s. You had those little sheets that everybody knew about with all the odds on them. You had to have them in by like Tuesday or Wednesday, and then you know, somehow those odds were always right on. Though it's amazing.
I've always stayed away from gambling. Mike would have to explain how he's able to do it effectively. I wouldn't be able to do it because, you know, it's funny when I look at it from afar and I don't think about it as a gambling aspect. I'm able to peg every game because I'm just not thinking that way. If I start thinking about my wallet, I'll start. I don't know. I think it changes my perception of sports. Mike, how are you able to ride that line where you can do a point spread, remove your emotions? I mean, how many times have you won money on the Jets? Are you smart enough to always bet against the Jets because you'll win?
I have a hard rule. Seriously, this is true. Okay. I don't bet on Jet games, right? I'll tell you why. There's too much involved. Number one, if you lose the bet and the Jets lose, it's like a double whammy. Yeah. If the Jets win but you lose the bet, it's like you fucking pissed.
Yeah.
If you win the bet and the Jets lose, you piss. So I just don't do it. It's
You
like it's
got to
just it's
remove
bad.
yourself. Okay, so that explains why I'm able to call all these games when I don't look at it from a gambling aspect. Okay.
Right, exactly. Right.
You remove yourself from it. By the way, Mike, real fast, Bart and I recently found the old, and I'm talking old. We drafted Sam Darnold in what, 2018? Something like that. You know, I the old 5 minutes with the Pharaoh video where I was so happy that I was saying we finally have a quarterback. Wow, that turned out to age pretty good. The only problem was it wasn't with us.
And that's the problem, right?
Oh.
That is the problem.
Oh.
And again, you know, there wasn't many people, you know, after he shit the bed with the Jets, everybody just foo-fooed him after that. And you can't blame him because he looked terrible with the Jets. But the reality of it is it's not the quarterbacks, it's the team. And, you know, the sooner or better, not to make it Jet talk, but the sooner we realize it's always the team, the better off we'll all be on that situation.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit serious before wrestling. Could play a quick video. Hopefully it doesn't get flagged. We'll see. Hold on.
Feel like I'm getting deja vu. This is like a rock war number 2. A rock war number 2. I like the look of those oil supplies. I'd be ashamed if someone invaded you. If someone invaded you. And I ran so far away. Above my red, above them night and day. But this for USA.
Jimmy, you're not entertained by that?
You served, as we all know, right?
Right.
Okay. Am I not entertained? All right, I'll answer your question. Okay.
Are you not entertained?
Am I not entertained? Yeah.
By the way, Mitch in the house from Allentown. Allentown, the worst place to live. Anybody who lives in Allentown, run away. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Billy Joel wrote about Allentown. You might be right, Mike. What do I think? I think when I was hearing that, I was thinking to myself, we've come from the grisly realities of our grandparents and parents, and yada yada, of the realities of World War I and World War II. And I was thinking to myself about songs like Over There and the Shores of Tripoli, and now we have, in our lifetime, since the 1970s, since the first time I looked at Time magazine cover when I was a little boy, we've had for decades now a country that wants us dead. And as you know, diplomacy is about talking, and for decades it's been death to America, true or false, true, and death to Israel, true or false, true, and you play me that. And that's where we're at.
Well, how about this, Jimmy?
You asked me. You left out the best part. Where's the high notes? You got to put in the high notes.
I don't want to get caught with a flag. It's too close to the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you do get caught with a flag, I hope it's American.
Jimmy, seriously though, it does bother you, huh? I didn't think it really would bother you.
Well, why don't you look at it this way? I'm glad that everybody can make jokes about stuff like this, no matter what side you're on. And I'm sure that a certain side is much more finding it very, very, very funny, and blah blah blah. But there's nothing funny about the realities of the situation at all. It's been hanging over our heads for years as we all try to ignore it. Nobody said that taking care of viruses is going to be fun, but terrorism is a virus, and they've been threatening death for decades. And so are we supposed to continue to think Mr. Rogers forever about this situation? I guess so, because suddenly it's fashionable to hate on the little speck in the middle of a big giant clusterfuck of hate around it. And I guess the point of defeating evil back in the day, I guess we were only trying to protect. We weren't trying to protect the Jewish people. We were trying to protect England and France and the rest of them. We weren't trying to, all those countries, and the UN wasn't formed to try to protect, to make sure that nobody becomes a barbecue ever again on millions of people. But okay, so we'll make jokes and ha ha, and we'll compare President of the United States to the guy who designed the Holocaust. Okay, that's great. I'm so fucking entertained.
I think that
How's
our
that?
audience, the Monte The Pharaoh audience,
Yeah.
definitely agrees with you. By the way, Michael Fry says Monte The Pharaoh for Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Now
So I'm
it's
gonna
funny
play.
shit. I'm not gonna
I'll
get
play.
all stiff and be. It's funny, haha. It is
but,
fun. It's very clever.
But
I thought
let me
it's very
play.
clever.
Let me play devil's advocate, though. So you
Yeah,
said
it's clever.
evil, right? We're attacking evil. Do you think the ones that we feel are evil look at us and that we're the ones that are evil?
Oh, you know what? How about this for an answer? I don't care. How's that? How's that for an answer? Because
That's a fine answer.
Diplomacy is supposed to be countries sitting down and talking. How many times has in the past the United States or Israel, listen, if I airdrop you into the middle of the Middle East, you're only going to be in, there's only one country you can hope to land in that's going to let you live the way you want to live, a lot more the way we live here. It's Israel. It's a democracy. Ever you get dropped anywhere else, you better play within the time frame of what they believe in. Otherwise, you know what you are. You've been described as it. Look, this is not fear mongering. It's been in print for thousands of years at this point almost. Look it up.
404 says just had an old coworker from the NYPD passed away of 9/11 cancer. The Bin Laden still costing lives. It's a great point. And by the way, he had a great question for Jacques Rouzeau. Real quick shout out to Jacques. Great job. Talk about diplomacy with Hannibal. Well done, sir. If anyone defends Hannibal after that conversation, I have no idea. But Jimmy, you bring great points up.
Mike, also, real quick, where is the conversation? Where are the bleeding hearts? Because this is the stuff I do care about. Where were the bleeding hearts leading up to what has happened between the United States, Israel, and Iran, where thousands of Iranians were being killed? They're civilians. Where were the bleeding hearts? You cannot have selective, this counts so much. This way, well, you know. What do you mean? Well, you know, what was there like? What was the count, Bruce? You're the numbers guy. I had read at one point over
20 to 30,
civilians
20 to 30,000
and it came from multiple sources. So if everybody's lying about the same general number, okay, that's a coincidence. It's a lot of people. Mike, where are the bleeding hearts for that? So what I really would hope. Look, if I'm going to be optimistic, I really hope that somehow the Iranian people realize we cannot. Look, theocracies are very dangerous. I would never want one here either. We allow people to express their religious freedom. Just don't get stupid with it. Am I missing something, guys?
No, you're not. I mean, listen, dude, I agree with everything you're saying right now.
Just would like the Iranian people to get something together where everybody can fucking cooperate better. Because you cannot always threat bombs and terrorism. It doesn't work that way. And of course, the little speck in the middle is going to defend itself. What do you want it to do? It's a miracle they got anything back after World War II. Stop it. You want to talk about oppression? You wander around for 2,000 years. Jesus
Bruce, what are your thoughts on the comments of the Pharaoh?
No, I have to agree. I mean,
Jesus was Jewish too. Oi. Sorry. Come on. Hello. Read something. Something of value, not the internet. Read the actual books from the people who allegedly, supposedly, possibly existed all those years ago. Try to read that language. It's Shakespearean. Read King James. You'll get dizzy. Oh my God.
Well, you
Mike,
just have to look at the people.
Read King James Bible. Oh my Lord. It's like reading Edgar Allan Poe, right?
You had people who were actually free from what, the 50s to what was it, around 79, 80, and that's when the overthrow happened, and
the Shah was kicked out of the country. Yeah,
right. Yeah, Mike, who was the president when the Shah was removed? Do you know, right?
It was Carter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's correct. That is correct. And what was installed? The Ayatollah, and then came Time magazine, the face of hate, on the cover of our Time magazine. And what did he say? Death to America. We have grown up during all of this. So anybody who thinks that this was never, ever going to happen, and if you turn your back and pretend it's not going on, it's been going on the entire time. So where were the bleeding hearts for the thousands of civilians being told, shut up or die by their own free country? Free not.
It's a good point. It's a good point. So here's a ridiculous comment. Jim Terry is here. Last week, 139 live viewers. Tonight, 13. Anyone know why? So at the 7 o'clock show, we had 98 live viewers. And again, Jimmy Crab Legs. Live viewers don't matter, just so we don't know. It doesn't matter. Live viewers. I'm telling people right now, if you know anything about this, live viewers only matter for super chats, everything else. Again, we appreciate our live viewers. Don't get us wrong, but it's not so important. Anyway.
You know what I appreciate, Mike?
What's that?
My real hair.
Mitch Seinfeld. Carter was responsible for Gaza. Jimmy Carter was a great man, not a good president.
I agree.
I know Mitch doesn't like Jimmy Carter. He thinks he was a bad guy. We've had the conversation, which is perfectly fine. That's his belief. To me, he just wasn't a good president.
I think he went adrift as a good man, though, Mike. I think he started to get really adrift. I do think he was a better man and actually a pretty decent man in his younger days, for the most part.
Oh, by the way, do you want to respond to this, or we're going to leave it at that because we should just finish it? Jimmy, someone called in to Shelly Martinez late on last Thursday and claimed to be you. I said it wasn't you. Can you just confirm that that was not you, please?
Well, that's kind of insulting, Mike. You know, first of all, you have to be funny, organic, and genuine. And that was like, you know, a flush that won't go down the goddamn shitter. So, no, of course that wasn't me. I confirmed it. Whatever.
You listen, there's nothing easier than low-hanging fruit, right? So, you know,
please. That was like so. Yeah, like you said, rotten.
It's
fruit.
it's
Whatever.
it's MJF. It's what's his name?
MJF is great though. There's a difference.
Who was the comedian that was that worked blue all the time? The drug addict guy.
That what?
Lenny Bruce.
Oh yeah, he was great too.
Yeah, but again, if you can only work blue, what can you really do?
Great with whatever you try to do. If you're not great, you just suck. So
yeah, but if you just do blue stuff, does it really make you talented? It's very easy to do blue, isn't it?
Right. Absolutely. That's why British humor is some of the best humor of all.
Listen, I don't like the Brits, but that being said, I don't like British comedy. Sorry, I don't mean the Brits.
You don't like
British
Monty Python? What's wrong?
Oh,
it's got Monty in the name.
Couldn't do it.
Wow. Was it the Y in Monty that annoyed you instead of an E?
That could be. Dude, I didn't like Monty Python, Benny Hill. It just wasn't my shit.
Oh, you didn't like Benny Hill? You didn't even watch for the girls?
No, I'm not a Benny Hill guy.
And you don't like cartoons. You don't like cartoons.
Let's get to the meat and bones of this. So out of the Elimination Chamber was Danhausen. Bruce predicted it. Did you predict that, Jimmy, also?
What? Predict what about Danhausen?
Danhausen was coming out of the wooden crate at Elimination Chamber.
Oh, I said it would probably be something silly. I guess I was right in a way, right? Because Danhausen is silly, but don't you ever mess with Danhausen, because if he puts a curse on you, Bruce, there's a problem.
Bruce, you knew it was Danhausen. How'd you know it was Danhausen?
I can't give up my source, but you know, I text you 4 or 5 days before it broke.
Are you friends with him or something? You friends with Danhausen?
No, trust me, I'm not a Danhausen fan. I got it from a very, very, very reliable source.
So
are you in the business?
Believe it?
Mike, Bruce is in the business.
He's in the business. Well, let me ask you guys this.
It wasn't from somebody in the
business. Bruce doesn't like Danhausen. Jimmy, we're going to find out if you like Danhausen. We haven't spoken about it. The one thing I did say, if they were bringing Danhausen in, if they were going to sell tons of merchandise, I compared it to when the Yankees signed A-Rod. People are like, they're never when they signed A-Rod, the people like this guy, they will never make their money back. They made A-Rod's whole contract back that first round just through merchandising the first year. So what I said was, if Danhausen makes his money back just through merchandise, forget about wrestling, it's been a good deal. So what comes out 2 days ago? Number one WWE merchandising, Danhausen. So I'll start with you, Jimmy. Danhausen, good for wrestling, good for the WWE, bad for WWE. Let's not forget he got booed. He got booed in Chicago.
Number one, I've seen the video and stuff, and I don't feel the same way about it. They booed after the lights went off. Okay, when his spiel was out, everything was fine in my opinion. He also he's going to be the E in entertainment. Don't expect Danhausen to be anything more than that. And you're correct when you say that he's going to give back money in oodles on merchandise alone. He's cool. Danhausen's cool. I like Danhausen. I get a laugh out of Danhausen. I think that Danhausen's a cool character. I think he's going to make his money back. So as far as all of that goes, yeah, but he's not going to be like, take him too seriously. I think he's there for the entertainment factor, and I think it's a wise move to compare him to A-Rod. You're right in premise that you're going to get your money back, but bringing A-Rod in, A-Rod was.
I'm not comparing the two players. What I'm trying to say is, A-Rod's contract was huge back, and they were like, the Yankees will never make that money back.
Who said that though? Because if
that was
anybody said that back then, I would have laughed at them. Them.
Let me tell you something. If you would have signed him in the early 1980s for that kind of money, they would have never made their money back because merchandising wasn't a thing.
Different game, different time, different game.
There was no merchandising. That's what I'm trying to say.
Too. Right. No, A-Rod was perfect for his. A-Rod was the most polarizing guy in his day outside of Barry Bonds. My God, when we brought A-Rod to New York, anyone who thought he wasn't going to make them their money back, they should hang his jersey. I don't give a shit if you like him or not. He was here for 13 seasons, 2 MVPs and a championship, and they don't get nothing without him. Shut up. And he switched positions.
We're not talking about helping the team. We're talking about getting your money back.
Do you know how many? Didn't you go to the games? I mean, how many chicks chicks love it?
But that's what I'm trying to say to you is I guess people weren't realizing the merchandise this guy was going to move. Again, let me put it this way: if Danhausen's not selling merchandise, it's a bad deal for the WWE.
Right? It's not like you're already correct. He's going to make the money back if he's not doing it already. I mean, how much did they give him? What did he get?
Yeah, I can't think he has a huge contract. Bruce, what are your thoughts on the whole thing?
All right. Well, as you know, I'm going to.
Your mic's off, Bruce.
We got to play the standby music.
You had a standby screen on there for a second. It says muted, Bruce.
Wait,
there you go. That should work.
Go in and go out.
Go in and go out, Bruce. They can't hear you.
You got to go in and go out.
Your mic
Bruce.
is out.
Come on, Bruce.
Until he figures this out, I'm going to have to continue the conversation here. Yeah, so let me ask you this, though. Then here's where
he put a curse on Dominic.
Well, this is what I'm trying to say. So we just come out of we just come out of like real serious type of things going on. And then you have Danhausen. Is there room for now again, I started thinking about Ultimate Warrior, Papa Shango. Remember when he put the spell on Warrior's throwing up. Is there room for seriousness and then total ridiculousness, or it's not possible?
If it's done right, the comedic stuff has to be done just right. There's a huge difference between Mae Young delivering a hand and Stone Cold Steve Austin dressed up in disguise as a male nurse when he says, "I'll take it from here, nurse." We all remember the bedpan stuff, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a big difference on how you handle the comedy aspect of it. I love the fact that Danhausen put a curse. It's so silly, but at the same time, if you're going to use them effectively. By the way, that was not effective. I couldn't stand that.
That was awful. It was awful. Yeah. I agree with you. It was awful.
Yeah, but Danhausen pointing at Dominic and being basically cursing him, and then he loses. Why do I like that?
But you see, I like it too. But then there has to be a point where Dominic gets him in the ring, let's call it WrestleMania,
yeah,
and beats the living shit out of him.
And also, another cool thing about that particular storyline was who benefited from it. Penta's got to get a belt. That was good.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
It wasn't like they just did a fly-by-night knee-jerk thing. Hey, let's put your mother on a forklift, bro.
And in turn, you get Finn Balor kind of turning face. I mean, listen, I will tell you, with today's WWE, they are going back to the late 80s format of every wrestler having some type of storyline that you could get invested in. And I guess if you're into the comedy aspect of pro wrestling, remember I used to say when my father used to go with me, he would love like the giant fat guys because he just thought it was funny. I agree with you. There's got to be a shtick. So, all right, let me ask you this. How does AEW let Danhausen go then? What is that about?
Well, AEW suffers from, and I think this is, of course, the fan in Tony Khan is like he likes to grab everything that looks shiny. So you have too much stuff going on. There's too many peas in the pod or cooks in the kitchen, and or ingredients in this case in the soup. So basically, Danhausen he felt was discardable. Look, he's made a lot of mistakes. Over the years. Sometimes he'll grab a big name. What does he do? I mean, he had you thinking a couple of times that his acquisitions were going to be like this big deal. And I was like, no.
And you were like, no.
Not the way he handles things, because he still has failed to realize that without growing his own true greats from within, he's fucked.
Well, let me ask you this then. So last night, we all remember the Iconics from the WWE. They actually won the tag team titles here. I always found them very talented. At that point, they were green though in the WWE, and I thought they kind of got a bad rap. They, they went off, they separated, they had kids. Now they came back to TNA, did really well. And what does Tony Khan do? He signs them. Great.
Right.
He brings them on Wednesday night and has them squashed in like a minute.
Wasn't that to the Jamie Hayter team? If
yes.
I'm not mistaken?
So I got two questions for you.
Yeah.
In wrestling, as a fan, and I want the people at home to answer this too. In wrestling, as a fan, when an established tag team wrestles that team that gets put together, right? We could talk about like Akeem and Big Boss Man against the Mega Powers, or when you have an Iconics who wrestle together for the last 8 years, 10 years, face Jamie Hayter and what's her name, the Bird, what do they call the Bird Sisters or whatever, and they get squashed.
Yeah.
What do you forget about just the Tony Khan aspect of him killing the Iconics after just signing them? But what is your feeling when an established tag team gets beat by two great stars like Austin and Foley? They come together. They should not be beating the Road Warriors. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, we've seen it going back all the way back to when we were kids. What was the only thing that could seem to take the belts off the Samoans? Bob Backlund and Pedro Morales are all of a sudden at Shea Stadium a team. So we've been seeing this going on forever.
You kind of just put me in my place there. Good job.
Because it's been going on. It's not putting you in your place. It's just reminding you of how far back it goes. And as far as the Iconics go, I can't help but tie Tony Khan into this. This is what always seems to get in Tony Khan's way, is the fan in him. This is like Vince McMahon in reverse, what he did here. You don't do that if you're going to bring them in. You certainly don't. You just paid for their services. Either way, Vince would look at it as, I just paid for your services, and I'm not going to fucking have you go out there and lose in 30 seconds because it's
in your debut match, Jimmy. Debut match.
And I'm amazed. I wonder what was going through their minds. They left TNA, they signed there, and they're told, guess what you're doing tonight? Oh boy. That's not good. I don't think it's good at all. I don't think any good could come from it at all. Not for them.
Sometimes I am amazed, dude. I am just amazed. How about this one? Go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead.
I thought the Iconics were great when they were in WWE. I was very annoyed when they got rid of them. They were very entertaining. I did not see shit fests when they wrestled. Come on, stop. You know, sometimes the complaining, it's like, okay, everybody's not Bret Hart. Who the fuck's going to be Bret Hart anyway? Very few. You know, it's entertaining. They were very entertaining.
They were great, dude. And when the WWE put the tag team belts on them, I was like,
Don't they know the formula anyway? Like, look, at the end of the day, I still believe at least half your roster. In my mind, it would be 2/3, but I'll meet the other side halfway. If at least half your roster has to be killer wrestlers, like in the ring, and great, great talkers, at least half of them. And the rest of them fall into the mid card and the lower card, but use them the right way. It's really, I don't get it sometimes.
Jimmy, I got to be honest with you.
In the shuffle.
Back to Vince Russo.
Yeah.
This booking is really not that hard. It's really not that hard, dude.
No, you know what? It depends. You know what? Like, I'll meet him halfway. We were never back there. We don't know about that aspect. So when I say it depends, look, it's not just chess pieces you're moving around. It's human beings. I think a lot of the times Russo failed at that. I think a lot of the times McMahon failed at it, but McMahon was a hell of a lot better at it than anybody else I've ever seen.
Listen, you're not batting 1,000, and let's be realistic on Russo yet again. He caught. We've said it a million times. He caught the Jerry Springer era. He used it, and when Jerry Springer became null and void, his whole writing went null and void because he was a one-trick pony, man. It was it. Come on, let's talk. Dude, you listen. I could say this feeling 100% confident that you and I could do a better job booking than a Vince Russo.
I'm allowed to believe that, and I don't care what he thinks about that. But you know what? A lot of people would think that to themselves. To be fair, they would. But look, I've said it on other shows of ours. Just because Mike Francesa never laced up a pair of fucking cleats and never put on a Yankee hat and never went into watch the batting cage as a coach or whatever doesn't mean that the guy does not know what he's looking at. So what? Gordon Soley wasn't in there giving fucking chair shots. What are you getting at? There's a lot of people that love this business. Shut up.
Not to keep harping on the Iconics, but it's like, you have a tag team, very talented women, good-looking women that can draw money for you, and you're going to have them lose to your fucking champion and some other broad. It's like, what are you doing?
Hey, can I be a little controversial here? Can I make a physical observation on something I saw? And I thought about how Vince and Triple H would, handle stuff, or at least I know Vince did. That's for sure. And I'm a huge fan of Toni Storm. Is she getting heavy? Is it just me?
She's been heavy, dude. She's been heavy in the buttocks for a while.
Because I just saw a match where, she's parading that around, and I was like, I thought about Vince right away. I was like, I know that sounds terrible in this day and age, but would Vince be like, hey, need you in is there something wrong with that? When you need a line.
That's why she's Jimmy. You hit on that. That's why she's not there. They put her in a segments with Charlotte, and it just wasn't working.
This may be too complicated a thought for some folks out there, but to hammer home that this is not a sexist thing, like, oh, she's getting heavy, Vince would make her stay within a weight frame. It's similar to when you're like in the NFL and you're playing a position. Mike, do you want a 300-pound linebacker? No, he moves too slow. True or false? You got to have like 240 nowadays.
Jimmy, I think you got to call it like it is, okay? Men that watch women's wrestling want to see attractive women. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, it's not that. I thought not for me. Maybe for others. Okay, fine. I get that.
Listen, just on the last interview with Jacques Rougeau when he was talking about Dynamite Doll, he was like, "So this good-looking woman." He was bringing his attention.
That's
Listen,
funny.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this then. If you don't look at it that way, okay, then please.
I wasn't looking at it like,
I understand.
I wasn't looking at it that way at all. I was getting concerned she's getting too heavy. That's what I was getting concerned about.
But I guess what I want to say to you, dude, is.
What did they ask Nia Jax to do when Nia Jax was like busting faces left and right? Remember when she came back, they asked her to lose weight. Why is that like immediately a sexist thing?
But you know what, dude? You got to call it like it is, because you know what? Look, not that you have to call it like it is, but let's call the facts. Why didn't Shayna Baszler make it? Why? What
Honestly,
reason?
I don't think, to be honest, honestly, why I don't think she made it. I don't think that, look, there was only one way to present her. Like, okay, you want to say you and I are booking stuff, right? I will argue till the cows come home that there was only one way to book her: beating people up and saying absolutely fucking nothing.
Right.
Now, you can only go so far with that. So that's problem number one. Okay. Number two, I have zero issues with her looks, because all she should be doing.
But let me
interject
that with you. So that's the role you give her. Fantastic, I get it.
That's the role
but then,
she is in real life. She beat people up.
But then I would turn to you and say this, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Okay. Guess what?
Yeah.
She has no mic skills. You don't want her to talk. I get that. Okay.
Yeah.
So how are people going to hate her? Because that's the only reason.
Well, let me ask you this: you've always been a proponent for the, an advocate for. Oh, I like how I used advocate for pushing, women to further heights and stuff. Well, how come Paul Heyman never managed her? She should have been brought in to beat the living crap out of and let Paul talk for her, and she's in.
Because I would say this to you, Jimmy. I would say this to you. If we're booking and we're running the show, I would say this. She's not marketable. She never would be. She's just not marketable.
No, she doesn't cross over like a Lesnar or anything, but I would at least
she just doesn't.
Yeah. They've tried others with Paul.
And I think they did. I think they did try it though.
Did they? Well, if they did, then I regress. But in the end, that's all she was really meant to do, was just pound people down and not say much. She didn't have mic skills.
That's it.
Got to have them.
Mitch Seinfeld says she was
really have mic skills, though, Mike. Let's be honest here.
But Ronda Rousey was attractive.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yes. I mean, Mitch is even saying, right? Mitch is saying.
You got to forgive me. You got to forgive me when I see Ronda Rousey. Or I see Shayna. Sure, Ronda Rousey's good looking, but that's not my first. Man, maybe I'm just a weird guy. My first impression when I look at a Ronda Rousey or her or a Van Zandt, like, they look like fighters to me. That's the first thing I look at when I see them. When I look at Tori Wilson, I go, okay, lay boing, there's a chick. Trish Stratus had that effect. She was what? A model. Maybe I'm not weird. I look at Shayna Baszler or Ronda Rousey. The first thing I wouldn't think of is they're fighters.
It's business.
And then when you take a second look, sure, Ronda's good looking. So
it's business. And they did try working with Shayna, and it just couldn't hit. Listen, some people just don't have it.
Okay,
right?
so let's get to this. Is it sexist that Ronda Rousey is preferred to be more attractive by the general public than Shayna Baszler? Not really.
Sexist.
Not in my
it's just
opinion.
what it is.
That's what I'm getting at. It is
here,
what it is.
So here, in my opinion, in the Mike Monty world, this woman has now has star written all over her, and I never paid much attention to her until Elimination Chamber. Kiana James.
Okay.
What are you thinking about her, dude? And by the way, at Elimination Chamber, she did one of our favorite things. She had a nip slip. So we had a nip slip by her too. So we had some good. Man, there's nothing better than a good old nip slip, dude.
Wow. And we were already rated R. What does that make us now? RX, like a prescription?
But thoughts on Kiana James? Am I saying that right? Kiana James.
I can't yet because
dude, she's built like a brick shithouse, dude. Good looking girl, too. My God.
Yes, but a lot of them when they first come in feel very gray matter. So I'm in gray matter land. I didn't go holy, shit right away.
Has Maxine come out of gray matter land for you?
Maxine was never in gray matter land. Maybe obviously as a wrestler, she has her, she's had her battles with being green and then learning through her program, obviously. She's never been in gray matter land because she's interesting. She's actually entertaining. She's polarizing. Not CM Punk polarizing, but I find her interesting. I pay attention to her. I mean, what made Green so beloved? I mean, there's something extra going on there.
She's just everything amazing. About her has talent. Everything about her has talent.
And she's got a little bit of that. A little bit. She doesn't have obviously Chelsea power, but she's interesting. I want interesting, and that's why the Danhausen thing. Keep them interestingly interesting.
Yeah, you're right. All right, let me ask you this: in the annals of Mark Henry,
Oh, what did he say now?
we talked about him last week. Well, I'm gonna play this video. Tell me what you think.
Come on, Mark.
Let's see what he's got here.
What's your name?
Mark Henry back at it again.
Classy. Why am I laughing? I'm laughing because if I buy into the rage bait, then I'll be no better than that nonsense. That's pretty sad. It's pretty sad there, Mike.
One day when we see him at the big event, he's just gonna fucking kill me. But that's okay. It's all good.
Why? Why? Because we disagree with his saying after the guy's dead and gone, doing something like that. Why does he want to get mad at us? What do we?
I just flat out disagree with that guy. Period. The guy's dopey fuck.
Yeah.
All right, Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill, getting a little personal on Twitter. What are you thinking about this Twitter war? And it's kind of personal, dude. It's not Rhea against Jade Cargill. It's like the person against the person. They're throwing bombs at each other on Twitter.
Well, you're Mr. X. Internet. You're Mr. Internet. What is anything in particular, or
just basic stuff like you always wanted to wrestle me, and you and nothing. Yeah, just nasty stuff. And again, I think to myself, is it real? Is it fake? We all know that we could be probably being fucking worked. I mean, we're going to talk about Roman Reigns and CM Punk, but I mean, this is my problem, Jimmy. This goes back to Danhausen. It's like you get these type of things going on, and then you got a guy putting a curse on somebody. And you're like, oh, my God, oh, yeah, it's wrestling. When you think they got you, they fuck you up when they bring in R-Truth and Danhausen.
It is wrestling, like for decades. Look, like Danhausen is a horror gimmick, correct? One way or the other, it's still a horror gimmick.
Something.
Yeah. Well, you just put a curse on it, and it worked. So, I mean, for decades, one of the biggest stars and the captain of the locker room was a guy who would take about 20 minutes to come out there and roll his eyes up and take the hat.
By the way, I got to ask you, where's Bruce? Bruce disappeared. He never came back.
I don't know what happened to Bruce.
He disappeared.
I have no idea what happened to Bruce. It's very baffling because Bruce is usually good at these machines that the production shit. So I don't know.
But go ahead about Danhausen. By the way, Bain says Danhausen is hysterical. He's 180 pounds. It looks like a kiss groupie, a part vampire.
Yeah, as long as they don't send them out there like Marco's stunt and actually have him pinning people left and right. You know what I mean? Whoops. What about Marco's stunt?
I think he got injured. I thought I heard him on a fucking.
Oh, imagine that! What could have possibly happened to the guy as big as Danhausen's potato chips? I mean, come on! Oh my God, it's crazy. No, I'm just saying that, by the way, I wanted to ask you because I'm not as locked in on the product as much as I still keep track and see things, but has Cargill now gone back? Because from what I saw, as far as their program, as far as me wanting to be interested in it, because Jade had taken a dive in your eyes and mine last we checked with each other, and it looks to me like, or it feels like, Jade Cargill is back up somewhere where she should be, as far as my perception as a fan. So did something happen here? Because I like it. And if there is any shades of reality here, let me ask you this. Does Jade Cargill really want to get in a fight with Rhea Ripley in real life?
That's a good question. I'm going to say this. On paper, Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill, awesome match, right?
Agreed.
On paper.
Yeah.
In reality, Jade Cargill cannot wrestle, and Rhea Ripley is not that good that she can cover.
Are you sure?
For Jade Cargill.
Are you sure? You sure about that?
I'm fairly confident. What are your thoughts?
I think she can at least. I think they can at least give us serviceable because of Rhea. I think they can. I think Rhea. Look, give Rhea some
Rhea's
credit
no
now.
Charlotte Flair, dude. You know what I mean?
No. But if this, look, are you telling me like if look, this really could be like Undertaker, Sid Vicious, or something? You're
Yes.
right. This could be an absolute stiff fest. You know what I'm getting at? Like this would not work. Actually, if it was a genuine stiff fest, that might work. But if they're trying to give us the performance of
you said that when you said that, I'm like, yeah, that's probably the route they need to go. They need to just beat the shit out of each other, right? I mean, then you at least know it's going to be safe, you know?
Yeah, you know what? There better be, and I hate to say it, there better be some, because look, that's what the fans want anyway. They chant for it all the time. There better be some serious holy shit moments of pain during that match. Otherwise, it will be considered a major failure. You know that, right? There is expectations for this match. That's a good match on paper. Real good.
Well, I'm going to ask you this, and maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah.
CM Punk, Roman Reigns. Is this in the top 3 greatest main events of WrestleMania?
No. My knee-jerk reaction is no. No. How could it be? Well, what do you,
Jimmy? I gotta tell you. I started thinking. Okay, so Andre Hogan, no doubt.
You're not gonna tell me with a straight face. Besides Hogan, Andre, you're not gonna tell me with a straight face that CM Punk, Roman Reigns is bigger even than when Macho and Hulk collided at WrestleMania 5. You're not going to tell me that. You're not going to tell me that it was bigger than Warrior and Hogan at 6. You're not going to tell me that. You're not going to tell me that this matchup is bigger than Rock and Austin 2 out of 3 or whatever at WrestleMania. No, it's not. No. Now, anything that comes after Rock versus Austin, if you want to discuss it with me, you might have a point. It depends. You might be right. You might be on paper. You might be right, but are you putting it above when The Rock came back from Hollywood? It's funny how we come full circle with Phil. We come back with the fucking Rock coming back from Hollywood and back-to-back Rock cha-ching. I know money has, done what it's done over the years. It always explodes. Now a bag of potato chips is whatever. But you've got The Rock and John Cena back-to-back. You can't tell. I don't think this is in the top 3. No.
So I'm going to say this. I'm just from my perspective, okay?
It's up there.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Rock wrestled Cena twice.
Yeah.
At that point, I didn't watch those 2 WrestleManias.
That doesn't mean that.
No, but I'm just talking from my end. It wasn't like a must-watch for me.
Okay. You know how much it was a must-watch for so many people.
Listen, all I'm trying to say to you is Austin Rock wasn't a must-watch for me.
What?
This for me,
Austin Rock was not a
must-watch. I don't know why.
You were watching during the Attitude Era, and Austin Rock was not.
To be honest with you, I stopped watching for a while, like on a regular. But I will say this: as much as I don't. Okay, look, we're a wrestling show. I'm not like Hannibal and say I watch wrestling.
This will probably be the biggest WrestleMania of all time.
All I'm saying is something is going on. Something is going on between these two.
Yeah.
That is really all of a sudden I'm thinking to myself, I got to watch this match.
Well, why don't we get to the real hammering point of what I think you're trying to tell me? This is quite possibly, in real life, the most heated, real heat WrestleMania matchup ever.
Even more than Macho Hogan.
It's right there. It could very well be right there with it. Nowadays we don't really know. But you know what though? I know one thing that I've always known, and you asked me about it before Punk was back here when he was doing his thing in AEW. Do you think he could ever possibly come back and do the main event things that he's doing today? And I said, absolutely. Because of one major thing. CM Punk wiped the floor with Roman this week. CM Punk is one of the greatest. You can love Roman all you want, and Roman did get the better of exchange number 1. He did.
Okay, so we're in agreement. Number 1 goes to Roman.
He did. But come on. CM Punk, absolutely. You know, talk about return serve. What about an ace that not only you get aced on in tennis, but it hits your balls? When you know, I mean, and how in reality was that? I'll tell you something right now. There's
Well,
no
what
way
before
that
you go
that
any
was.
further, I just got to ask you:
Yeah.
did CM Punk go off script?
No, I don't think he did. I'll tell
Okay,
you
go
why I
ahead.
don't think he did.
Now go ahead.
There's no way. I'll tell you why. There is no way. With all the, you know, you can harp on all the bad blood in the past and stuff. Listen, Vince is gone. This is business now. Punk is everything's fine over there. There has been no fallout. There's been no leaking. There's been no this one's not happy. This one's fighting that. Punk is respected in the locker room, and everything's fine in the company. There is no fucking way that CM Punk live is going to think to himself, "Hey, I think I'll mention your dead father as I bump you and leave the ring." And Roman's just going to make the dramatic "what the fuck" face, and boom, we've just hit a huge home run with the No, there's no way. There is no way that your coworker, who I am sure, despite all our internet nonsense, I am sure CM Punk respects that Joe has battled leukemia and and comes back and has done what he's done in this business. No, I'm not gonna. I'm not. What do I look like, the Ark? No, I'm not buying into that. He was just gonna. Hey, I'll just ad lib about your dead father. It's a page out of Christian Cage, by the way.
I'm going to give you my take. I'm going to give you my take on this. So this is no what's his name, Cowboy, whatever the fuck he was, in CM Punk at AEW, right? This wasn't. I'm not prepared for what you say, but I will say this: I do believe that they do not like each other. I do believe
that may be true.
Roman is the leader of the Rock, is the leader. You know how Jock just said everybody wanted to be on the A card with Hogan? Everybody wants to be under Roman. Now, do I feel that they've sat with an agent and Roman said to CM Punk, look, I'm just going to say how I feel, you know, about we brought you back. We needed house, we needed good attendance in Chicago. We'll put you on a retirement tour. You're a quitter. And I think CM Punk goes, okay, no problem, as long as I know it's coming. And I think that CM Punk at some point, or the agent, they said, hey, look, we're going to take a shot at your father. Are you okay with that, Roman? And Roman said, okay. But I will tell you this, and I'll use this analysis, and I'll ask you to respond. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, in the locker room, made decisions, and they told each other what they were going to do. And when they actually did it, they didn't like it. Neither one of them. Bret Hart didn't like it. Neither did Shawn Michaels. And you've heard the story a million times. So are we looking at a case where, okay, I was cool with you saying it, but now I'm pissed that you're saying this shit? And CM Punk, when he says it about his father, it wasn't just a line. You could feel it was coming from his heart, like, fuck you and your fucking family.
Why don't we look at the bottom line here as far as at the core of some of their issues, not all, but I think it's pretty important, is professional financial competition. Or in this case could be, if you're speculating in this direction, jealousy. CM Punk, from what I've read, maxes out at $8 million total worth dollars annually in what he does for a living. And Roman maxes out at about 15 million. So because of the path that Punk took all these years, where he was the anti-establishment, and because Roman Reigns has taken the path of the establishment, you're going to possibly have these fucking problems to begin with. But my answer to all of this is when you're now working at this level, with this professionalism, these paychecks, and this much riding on the line like a WrestleMania main event, you're going to stay in line. This is not the same as Bret Hart, who's the current champion, going, I'm leaving for Ted Turner. It's not the same.
Understood. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So,
but I think as a fan,
Mike, It gets back to what I said earlier. I think that this is probably the most real heat since Macho, and that would be the only other one we can even think of. And how many WrestleManias have we had?
So
this
is
serious.
My point to you is this is not acting. This is very easy for these two guys to do this. Do you follow what I'm saying? It's very easy for them to do it because they really feel this. You know what I'm saying? So
let's go further then. How easy do you think? Obviously, it was easy for Macho. How easy do you think it was for Hogan? probably not easy.
Probably
Hogan's not built that way, man.
Right.
He's not built
Fair
that
enough.
way. He probably was so uncomfortable during all of that when you think about it. If that's really what was, apparently that's what the deal was. Macho hated his ass. So
yeah, fair enough. I mean,
that
I'm
couldn't have
just
been
telling
fun.
you personally, this matchup seems pretty good.
I
Thoughts
love
on
it.
what's happening between Drew McIntyre? He's a champion. He interferes in the event on Saturday, and
Right.
Randy Orton ends up winning, and you'll share your thoughts on that. But now Nick Aldis is forcing Drew McIntyre to defend against Cody Rhodes,
Right.
knowing that Randy Orton has got the title shot either against Drew McIntyre or Cody Rhodes, depending on Friday. Thoughts on that? And just a heads up, some fan just had written on X saying, I feel bad for Drew McIntyre. He should get the fuck out of there. They're just using him and blah, blah, blah. And then, Baron Corbin or whatever he calls himself nowadays said, oh, yeah, I'm going to leave a $4 million contract over a storyline. So this kind of goes back into CM Punk, Roman Reigns. Thoughts?
Oh, well, first of all, I agree with Baron Corbin. What you going to do, go to AEW and fall into Never Never Land because Tony bought another shiny object to play with? First of all. Now, I ask you this. Is Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania sexy enough to stand on its own?
Yes.
So,
in fact, I will say this. It's better than anything else they could put. If they go with a triple threat or a four-way, it's a mistake, but go ahead.
So, who cost Drew McIntyre the title then? Because that will be his WrestleMania opponent if you say that Cody and Randy is sexy enough for WrestleMania 101.
I think it should be either Jacob Fatu, or I actually would love to see Nick Aldis get involved and cost Drew McIntyre his title.
Nick Aldis returning to the ring to face Drew McIntyre?
At WrestleMania.
Nick Aldis. Want Magnus, the TNA World Heavyweight Legend.
Listen, it might be a stupid idea, and again, it's just me booking, and it's never happened, but I will tell you this. I will just say this. I love Jacob Fatu. I love Drew McIntyre, but the hot match, the match against Roman Reigns at night one and CM Punk would be Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes.
Who's Logan Paul fighting at WrestleMania?
No one.
Any idea?
You only have the two women's title matches in CM Punk, Roman Reigns. You do not have
who else is worthy enough to keep Drew McIntyre a nice shiny object and keep him in the world title picture one way or the other and keep him where he is? Who's he going to work with? You think
that would be to me, that would be Nick Aldis. Unless you want to put him against Jacob Fatu, but it looks like Jacob Fatu's been attacking, the Uno. Again, you know what, dude? It's going to end up being a fucking three-way. Jacob's going to come out. He's going to fucking ruin the match against Drew, and then Nick Aldis is like, I've had enough. It's now a three-way, and then forget about it. You know what I mean? Or four-way. I'm sorry, a four-way because you got Orton, Cody Rhodes. Yeah, I'm sorry, not a three-way, a four-way.
Yeah, I smell four-way, and I'm not interested in that. I don't want to see that. I'd much rather see Randy and Cody go at it one-on-one. I'm sure everybody else would too, probably.
And wouldn't you want that's your opportunity for Cody Rhodes to turn heel?
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to pull the. He's so. We knew that would run its course, didn't we? We knew it would.
So let me ask you this: if Cody Rhodes was to wrestle Randy Orton in night one, is that comparable to a Roman Reigns, CM Punk? If you buy it, it's not a bad match. It's a pretty good match.
A show closer? I guess so. I mean,
it wouldn't be a show closer. Show closer for the first night of WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they've done some strange things in WrestleMania recent years. They've started with shit like that. I could see them starting with that on night one.
No, that's got to be a closer at night one if that's the match.
Well, that goes back to my problem when I told you that outside of the incoming legends who come in or someone who's been away like Roman Reigns or John Cena or whatever, my problem with the current roster is I think Logan Paul is the most fucking noticeable. That's the problem. Where are all the guys? If your show closer, look, doesn't that say anything on your show closer on night one is How old is Randy?
You asked me who
Where's the future of the
Logan Paul will wrestle Seth Rollins.
Okay.
I mean, that's the way it's going to end up being.
I'm telling you, there's got to be some more sexiness here, man. You can't just have Roman Reigns. There's got to be something else.
Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, if it's one-on-one, is super sexy, right?
I love it.
You throw in Brock Lesnar against Gunther. Come on now.
Oh, no, what? Now, wait a minute. You didn't say anything about that before.
I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying
look, if you've got a match like that, that's ending one of those fucking nights. I'm sorry. Brock Lesnar's not going to wrestle in the middle of the card, and he's not coming out first either. You're not going to tell him that either. So if that match happens, that's closing night one, and night two is Punk Reigns.
And again, I don't want to see Brock Lesnar against Obafemi. I just don't want to see it.
Have you heard anything about Lesnar and Gunther for real? My God.
Listen, Gunther is going to retire wrestlers. That's what he does now, right? He's going to retire.
Brock's not going to agree to that, so we could just drop this right now.
Oh, he will. Absolutely will. He's going to retire.
Oh, he will? Oh, Brock Lesnar's going to let Gunther retire him?
Yes,
really?
Yes, of course.
Oh, is this returning a favor for when the Undertaker let him pin him?
I would think that if you're going to retire, you retire and you put someone over as you retire, right? I mean,
why am I having such a hard time picturing? Like, look, I think Lesnar plenty of people over and made them look good at the very least. He's made a lot of people look good. But I can't see Brock Lesnar being retired. Like, okay, you're going to pin me, and I'm retired. I can't see him agreeing to that. I can't. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Just a gut read on him. Brock Lesnar, the person. I can't see him go. No, I don't see that. I just don't. You know, Ric Flair, older, saying, "I'm sorry, I love you," and getting a foot in the face from Shawn. I could see. But I can't see Lesnar, not the type of wrestler and steamroller he's been his whole career. I can't see that.
Jimmy, very important, finally arrived.
Demolition.
2026 Hall of Fame inductees. I got a message today from Andrew Ellison. We'll probably have him back on the show, which would be great. He wrote me and said, "Hey, Mike, I spoke to Bill Eadie yesterday, and he said some really good things about you and Jimmy. Of course, Monte The Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? So thank you. Thank you again, Andrew, for sharing that. Andrew is a big son of a bitch, isn't he? But
yeah,
Demolition, dude. Demolition.
I'm amazed. I mean, I wonder wouldn't you like to be a fly on the wall of those conversations? Because we've had them on several times over the years. My favorite all-time tag team. Obviously, one of the biggest omissions over the decades. How can you not have them in that? I can imagine what that conversation was like, because there was real problems between them and the company, Mike. I'm surprised, but I'm also thrilled.
I gotta tell you something, Jimmy. It does bother me. Like Bill Eadie, forget about Barry Darso. So I'm sorry, Barry, I forgot your name in the first show with Jack. But
what do you mean? He's fucking smashed. What are you talking about?
No. What I'm going to say is Bill Eadie. If I said this to you, Bill Eadie should be in for Demolition. He should be in for the Mass Superstar. Oh, maybe you could remember this to me. I got to ask this question because I was thinking about this. When Mass Superstar wrestled Backlund at the Garden.
Oh, God.
Do you remember if he beat Backlund? He beat him by count out because that's when. No, he beat him by count out the first match. Because that's how he hurt his neck. He gave him the swinging neck breaker outside, and that ended up being the Iron Sheik was able to beat him after that. Did Backlund beat him a second match, or did Superstar not get a rematch?
I don't know why I keep seeing the steel cage in my mind.
If someone remembers out there, I'd greatly appreciate it, please.
There might have been a steel cage match. I don't think Backlund ever did not get the final say. I don't think so. Ever.
But
I don't remember that ever.
Back to Demolition. Bill Eadie should be in for Demolition.
Yeah, he
should be in for the Mass Superstar.
Yeah, he should.
And dare I say that he should be in for the Machines?
No.
Ooh, really? Okay, why?
No. Not enough of a memorable impact. I mean, I got to be honest. I mean, no. When we talked to Jacques, I realized when I've seen the level of some so-called Hall of Famers that are currently in there, that the Rougeaus they should be in. I mean, I think we've realized that in the past, but I guess every time we talk to Jacques, I'm reminded of if you didn't have the Rougeaus doing what they were doing for those 5 years, 91, like Jacques just mentioned on our past show, they were a very important part of that whole. Remember the whole tag team, that whole scene back then. We had how many great tag teams, and they were a very important part of it. Those guys were assholes. We hated them, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
They were great. They were great. If you're going to put so and so in nowadays, come on. So but the machines. No, I don't think the same way as like even the
Well,
Rougeaus
then let me ask you this:
even.
Barry
Yeah.
Darso goes in for Demolition. Should he
Right.
go in with the Russians, Nikita, Ivan, and
Well,
Crusher Khrushchev?
Were they an official faction? Did they have an official name? If they did, okay, fine.
Yeah, they were.
But
I believe they were the Russians, right? They were the Russians.
Well, they were the Russians. Is that what? Did they have a logo? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, the Russians.
Well, it was Nikita, it was Ivan, and it was Khrushchev,
I know they
right?
ran together, but let's not forget Fuji and Saito, and then eventually weren't there. They weren't a faction. I mean, if you were putting them in as a group, of course he's part of that. But I don't. That doesn't feel like a label. Those guys. I don't think they were shopped or marketed, for lack of a better term, that way. I don't look at them like the second I see DX, I go DX. I see the T-shirt. I see the two words "Suck It" on the back. The Freebirds you knew were the Freebirds. You knew they ran in this pack, and they were the Freebirds. They had individual names. I don't remember the Russians. I mean, being called. I don't know, dude.
I want to remind everybody this episode has been brought to you by FanDuel Sports Betting. Jimmy opened up the show talking about how regular sports is being fixed.
Those were old stories from back in the day. We don't know what. Well, then again, Shohei Ohtani's, what was his accountant? That wasn't too good, or whatever it was.
Jimmy, NBA odds. Let's talk about the New York Knicks against the Denver Nuggets. The New York Knicks giving a +1. And then the under is 102.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Break me down. What are they're going to give up?
So the plus you
could
bet them. You could bet them +1 against the Nuggets, which is an even game, and then the odds are on a -102 that they're going to score 102 points.
Oh, they had a real tough loss against Oklahoma City I think it was last night. They lost by 3 points. They really gave a good effort too. I would bet on them, but that's my heart. See, when you start asking me about my home teams, but I do think that they're going to rebound with a win tonight. I do. I mean, when they play I'd go with the Knicks.
Well, you heard it here, and again, I wanted everybody go to FanDuel and
So
get your bets in.
Are you immediately placing your bet for the Nuggets or something? Or
well, first of all, I won't bet New York, right? I pulled that up because it's our team, right? You know what I'm saying? But I make it a habit not to bet on New York teams.
You think the Knicks got any shot this year, or is it just the same old karma? Because they're good.
Yeah, there's your answer. No. It's very simple. No.
It's always going to be some other team, like whoever.
Jimmy, you are my brother. You are my brother, and I love you to death. But you bleed New York so deeply, it hurts me
because stop with that shit. I never
always get reeled into the fucking trap. It just gets you every year.
First of all, I don't subscribe and watch any of their games, and I don't pay for their games. I don't go to their games, and I observe that at the end of the day, they're probably going to disappoint me like they always do. So what is this? Just because I say to you, they're pretty good. Because here's the facts: for the last 5 years, which is shocking, because they sucked for 20, they've actually been pretty good. So
Well, Jimmy, according to Vince Russo, you really shouldn't even talk about basketball because you never played on an NBA team. So you shut your mouth, okay? Because you don't know.
Listen here, bucko. I'm going to be Richie Cunningham. Listen here, bucko. You've never even rang the ring bell, so don't you tell me.
I'm a fan. Make sure every 5 minutes. I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan.
Bro, I've been watching baseball, bro, since 1970, bro.
You know what the big joke is? Hannibal, you're in the business. You know what Hannibal did? He went and spent his money and made a wrestling organization, and he beat people. He paid people to let him beat him. I mean, okay, that puts you into business.
I mean,
you got signed to some Fugazi contract that you supposedly had, but then you had Hep C. Whatever, dude. Please stop it already. Oh,
I mean, come on, Mike. Can't you just imagine? I mean, guys never being in the locker room and never even being in the wrestling business, and they have these opinions. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God. Exactly. Well, maybe we're not skewed like you, you fucking morons.
Yeah.
I mean, my God.
Jacques Rougeau hit a guy with a roll of quarters. Oh, that's despicable. This guy puts like.
Dude, I gotta tell you, Jacques taking the high road was very impressive. But the shit did you hear the shit Hannibal said about him?
Yes, I did.
That he was a pussy. He's a pussy. He hit him from behind.
And then people are writing in, oh, you would beat him up. And he writes back, 100% correct. Oh, my God, I'm going to go beat up 66-year-old Jacques Rougeau. You fucking idiot. What the fuck? And then people, yeah, go get him, Hannibal. Hannibal likes me.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll say it right now. Jimmy and I on May 21st will be at the big event in New York in Brentwood. Hannibal, come on down.
I'm not going. What are you talking about?
What do you mean you're not going?
I'm not going to that. If he's there, I'm not going. I'll be out in the parking lot smoking weed. Let me know how it goes.
I'm just saying, we're going to be there.
I just told him where I'm going to be. Oh, what a God. What have I done? All of a sudden, I'm sitting there, Mike. I'm smoking a big bone, watching Scooby-Doo on YouTube. And all of a sudden, fee, fi, fo, fum, dude.
Oh, my God.
Great.
Listen.
I'll be like, Mike, you got to help me.
Listen, Johnny Rods is going to be there. Say hello to Johnny. Got Don Morocco's going to be there.
Yeah.
Eugene.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be there.
What are you talking? Yes, you are. What are you talking about?
Oh, my God. All right. Yeah, but this hair is real if he pulls it. Ow.
Dude, I'll bite his ankles. How's that? I'll just bite.
What a sight. First of all, can Mike get down to the ankles?
I know. It's like.
And he's sitting there pulling my real hair while you're biting his toe bone. Excellent.
I'm Hannibal. I'm going to beat you up. I mean, what the fuck? I'm going to beat you up, Jacques Rougeau. I mean, could you be any more childish? I'm sorry, dude, but like between him and the fucking Triple H guy from the Master, students for the low price of $34, I will teach you how to do a wrestling promo. Jimmy, what is wrong with this planet, man? Dude, I can't take it.
We've been seeing that from day one. We were just trying to watch some matches in the freezing cold at a dock when Sweater Vest lost and his girlfriend went ballistic. Hey, come on.
Yeah, but that was at least normal.
Well, at least that was entertaining, like when the wife was yelling at the guy for the broken leg. I told you not to wrestle. That was great. That was fun.
It was fun. These other students.
Learn how to be convincing.
Oh, my God, you Triple H wannabe. I mean, oh, my God. Dude. All right, I got to be honest with you. I think now, officially, I hate the Master more than anybody.
Oh, God, great. That's great news for me because now I'll have to repetitively hear about this fucking toilet flush.
Dude, I just hate the Master. I'm sorry. I just hate him.
You know what's funny, too? Like, we always get killed. Like, we get accused, these guys with their egos. Boy, if I came to you and said, let's call our program Masters of Wrestling, I would expect you to slap the shit out of me. For
Jimmy, I would fucking slap you. I would.
It'd be like, Mike, we should call ourselves, you ready? Cape included. Masters of the Universe. That's great.
And the guy does like 85 shows a day. Look at him.
Look at that.
The Master of Wrestling. Shut the fuck up.
Truth. Did you see the word? Truth. Justice. And then the American way.
My God. Oh, my God.
Give me a break, man. Oh, boy. Well, maybe hopefully he'll think he can fly and like find a fucking window somewhere.
The Masters of Wrestling. Look at this guy. Look at this guy's
Mike,
face.
You got to do it with an echo. It's got to be Masters of Wrestling.
And let me ask you something. That accent, is it real? Is it real though? Like,
how about this for an answer? I hate to be Tony Soprano. Who the fuck cares?
and by the way, it's your fault. You're the guy that finds these guys. You're the ones that start me on them.
Mike, Mike.
Bullshit.
No
You one day you're like,
there.
did you ever see that Triple H wannabe guy on YouTube? Like, no. Go to that channel.
You know what happened was, as usual, you were devouring the internet duty sauce, and I made a comment that we should call him email, and you were off to the races like Secretariat at Belmont.
Email.
Yeah. I was like, who? He looks like Lenny from Laverne and Shirley.
And by the way, very important. I just heard this. Someone just told me Mario Mancini's coming out with his own doll.
He's coming out. Is he coming out?
Dude, the Mario Mancini doll. Are you
really?
fucking... Dude, are you kidding me right now? Hold on, dude. I'm going to share it with the audience. I think there's only one left, the Mario Mancini doll.
CVS pharmacy shirt included?
They're sold out. They're sold out, the Mario Mancini doll. I mean, what the fuck, dude? I'm serious, dude. This is a fucking lunacy place.
Wait a minute. It wasn't a clue to you when, like, almost a decade ago, we had somebody, I'm an attorney, selling photos of themselves.
Yes.
It wasn't a clue then when a bunch of dudes stood in a circle and sucked on lollipops and peacoats. It wasn't a clue then that we might be in the middle of fucking clown shit fucking sand. Oh.
Club kayfabe dolls. Only 60 left of the Mario. Only 60 of the Mario Mancini doll. You know, along with the Laredo Kid. Who's the Laredo Kid?
I think first of all, what I love the most when it comes to action figures, you always notice that they all got to be standing exactly like that one.
I know.
Well, can I do it? You know, it's like, oh, I don't know.
It's like this guy, the face. Master students.
Now, you know how he'd be standing if he had an action figure. He'd be standing the same way.
How long before that guy makes an action figure of himself?
Oh, my God. He'd never leave the bathroom if he did. What are you talking about?
That guy loves himself. Listen,
I
got to defend Shelley here because when he went on talking about Shelley and that, you know, that he's like, I thought she was a child of God, but then I found out from my wife that she did all this stuff. And I realized what a piece of shit she is. I'm like, oh my fucking God.
A child of God? Truth, justice, and the American. Wow, are we righteous?
I would love for you to debate the master of wrestling.
No.
By the way, I don't know if you watched the show with Shelley. But dude, I got to ask something. I don't know if you watched the show with Shelley, but Shelley calling him the master the whole show, I was just laughing inside that, like, we're calling the guy the master. Like, he made it work. He got us to do it.
Did he?
If we're sitting there calling him the master.
I haven't called him the master yet. I don't know.
You just did.
You just did. No, all I've done so far is call him email and make fun of the masters of wrestling. That's all I've done. Now, since you know I'm a fucking sci-fi nerd, there is only one master, and his name is Roger Delgado, and he played, you ready for it, folks? The Master on a show called Doctor Who. There's only one master. That's it. So, no, he's not the master of anything outside of masturbation.
Nerryman just chimed in. He said we should have the Lee Cole doll.
What does it do?
Look at this clown. Okay, dude, I just got to add. Just Wolf. Bro, yeah. Hannibal's twice your size. How do you know? How do you know he's twice my size? Here, hold on. How do you know he's twice my size? How do you know he's twice my size? You really don't know. You just know. Hannibal.
Mike, all I can say on my end is I'm not.
By the way, he likes you. This guy Wolf likes you, dude. He said hello, Pharaoh.
What's up? I like the name Wolf. That works for me.
But I think there should be the Nerryman.
Twice our size. Well, you know what? Actually, technically, he's not.
Just Wolf says
to be 400 pounds. But he's much bigger.
Monty is all talk. Can't bust a grape.
What?
Yeah, but you know what? I'll bust a nut in your ass. How's that?
Rectum? damn near fucking ended him. Oh my God. Wow. That's rough.
People are asking what happened to Bruce. Oh, where's Bruce the cat? Where is Bruce the cat? Where is Bruce the cat? They're asking.
What? Oh, Bruce the cat?
Bruce the cat. Yeah, they're looking for Bruce the cat.
Hey, Brucey boy, your audience awaits. There's Brucey. Hey,
Just Wolf, I'm just playing. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings. I would never come in your ass. I'd come on your back, just not in your ass.
Come on, I'm holding the cat. Oh my God, he's freaking out. He's like, nobody's coming to my ass. I'm getting the fuck out of here. There he goes. Yep, he's out of here.
Bro, Hannibal's twice your size.
Really?
Look out.
I'm coming for you, Monty, and I brought my spike.
Hey, here's the deal. We'll be at the big event. Come on down from Oklahoma.
Would you stop inviting? You know that I don't get normal under these circumstances.
Ask Tommy Morrison's wife if you're allowed to come. Go, please let me come. Yeah, he's shocked up with Tommy Morrison's wife. Anyway, any guy that picks on Tito Santana and Jacques Rougeau is a freak. And you notice Jacques was talking about being on the spectrum without saying it, right?
Yeah.
Nerry Man says Wolf Guy is gay.
I don't think Nerry Man likes us either. I've seen his stuff too.
Nerry Man is cool. He just listen, dude. People can have their opinions. I'm okay with that.
I know Nerry Man was depressed and stuff. I felt bad. I was like, God, what's the matter with him?
If Wolfman thinks that Hannibal could beat me up, so be it. That's his choice. I don't get upset over that.
Okay,
but if Hannibal shows up, if Hannibal showed up to the big event, would you be upset?
First of all, I wouldn't care. First of all, I would hope that he's smart enough to be at stuff like that, one way or the other. You want to get out there with the fans. First of all, second of all, just as a public service, leave me the fuck alone. I ain't gonna sit here and worry about whether you're bigger than me or smaller than me, or you don't like our show, or you don't whatever. Just stay the fuck away from me. If you got a fucking problem, the best thing to do is just leave nut jobs like me alone. Leave me alone. Stay away. All is well.
I welcome Hannibal to the big event.
You're a troublemaker, dude.
Come on, Hannibal. Come on over.
Just you know what? This will be great too, because this time I'm going to be like Art Carney. I'll be like, all right, Michael, hold your glasses. You'll be like,
oh, wait a minute. Just Wolf says, you don't want to provoke him.
No, I don't. No,
what if, normal. Wait a minute, what if the Master and Hannibal come to the big event and they want to get me?
The Master's coming to get you?
Along with Hannibal, the Master and Hannibal.
Now you're starting to injure.
Jimmy, don't provoke Hannibal. Don't provoke him. Hey, here's the deal. Hannibal said if he ever saw us, how many times he said if he ever meets us, we're gonna find out. Well, we're at the big event. There you go. Brentwood, New York, Suffolk County College. Be there.
And stay the fuck away from me. Thanks.
Jimmy's getting all pumped. He's already ready.
No, I'm not getting pumped. I'm not. Stop it. What am I, an action hero? What the fuck is this? What is this? I didn't even put my hands on my hips like fucking Reeves back in the 50s.
Wait a minute. Am I scary like this if I do the Hannibal pose?
Oh, you're scary without that.
Wait, does this Hannibal pose really work?
That's terrifying. Wait, listen, move a little to the left.
The big event, March 21st. See you there, Hannibal.
What's my still pose? I got a weed in one hand, a cigarette in the other, and I look like Shaggy who's just seen a ghost? I mean, what the fuck do I do there? Okay, well, if he's twice your size, what does that make him with me? 3 times? Oh, God, that's great. I'll bring some rabies shots and a vet. How's that?
Don't provoke Hannibal. Anyway, we've taken up everybody's time enough. Another great show. I want to thank Jacques Rougeau. I want to tell everybody that we're in the middle of just negotiating with, getting a date set with Steve Blackman because we have the big event coming up. So we'll have a bunch of stars. Yep, Steve Blackman will be in the house.
Wow. Wait, hold on. Are we gonna have Steve Blackman at our table for the big event?
No, we're gonna have Eugene and 911.
Oh, 911.
And then Johnny Rods will be there.
You might want to get Steve Blackman also at the table for our event in case Hannibal wants to try to. Because Steve Black, he's not gonna. No, well, that'll be next for Hannibal. I could take Steve Blackman. That's a bad idea.
By the way, Joe Flo says you talk about Hannibal every day. He rarely acknowledges you. You know what the fact is, Wolfman?
We're on
Just so
once
you know.
a week. What do you think I do the other 6 days? Talk about Hannibal?
But wait a minute.
Get the
But you
fuck
know what the
outta
funny
here.
thing is Wolfman, I've got proof that we're in Hannibal's head every day. In fact, his partner, who was just on the show, his former partner, the non-gimmick guy, was saying he couldn't get enough of talking about us because he was so fucking jealous of us. That's why he won't mention our names on the show, because he doesn't want his fans finding real talent. But Wolf, just Wolf one. I just want to say this. I respect the fact that you like Hannibal. There is nothing wrong with that at all. No. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
And I also want to remind Jim Terry that Jim Terry has been suspended for 1 year from the Monte The Pharaoh channel for 2 very bad things that he did. So, Jim, I'm sorry, but you can no longer come on.
Naughty, okay? There's the word, Mike. Naughty, naughty, naughty.
Naughty, naughty, naughty.
Ooh, naughty boy.
Oh, boy. I love it. I just love it. Anyway,
hey,
Jimmy.
Show us your tits.
That's all. So you're going blue right now. All right, bro. Send us out on our way, bro. Send us on our way.
You've been watching Monte and the Pharaoh. Until next week. Later.
And we're visiting Pharaoh's here after last night's Super ECW tribute show.
Deluxe.
Pharaoh's looking good though as he gets older. He can handle his liquor a little better, right? But we'll be flowing around. Hopefully, get to see a few people. We'll be posting these videos. So we'll talk to you soon.
I don't care if they talk shit. I don't talk to hypocrites. If you hate me, that's just fine. Go on down and get in line. They try to tell me what I need, and it sure ain't nothing good for me. Don't care what they say, it's all just talk. Gonna head my way and walk